The manhunt continues this morning for the man behind the state of Maine's worst mass shooting. People in communities around Lewiston are hunkered down in their homes again today as police continue to look for the suspect, Robert Card. We're checking in with Fox 61's Keith McGilvery to get the very latest. He's live in the Breaking News Center with what we know this morning. Keith.
Erica, good morning. This morning we know 18 people killed in a shooting at a bowling alley and a restaurant in Lewiston, more than a dozen injured, roughly 200 closings, be it for schools or businesses across the region today, including in Lewiston and at nearby Bates College, as this manhunt very much intensifies throughout the morning. We have been sharing this photo over the course of the last 2 days. We will continue to do so. This here, a picture of the suspect here, his name, Robert Card. He is 40 years old. A reminder for folks, an Army reservist with a history of mental health issues. Canada Border Services Agency issuing an alert for its officers on the U.S.-Canada border to be on the lookout for him. We have continued to follow all different angles here. We spoke with Mike Lawler. So he's an associate professor of criminal justice here in our region at the University of New Haven, who gave us some insight as to what law enforcement are involved with right now when it comes to the search.
The good part about this part of Maine is very sparsely populated, so it's not like you're managing a huge population. The bad part is it's also very rural, so there's lots of places to hide and go to ground, as they say.
Lawler says one key to zeroing in on Card's location is to find out how far he could have traveled after he abandoned the car he was in. Was he able to hijack another car? Did he get into a boat? He left that initial car at a boat ramp. Did he take off by foot? All kinds of questions here. Robert Fuller, meanwhile, he's the special agent in charge of the New Haven FBI office, saying personnel from his office on the ground right now in Maine. In a statement, he says his team is ready to support the search efforts and provide any kind of assistance here as needed. Do want to point out that we are responding. This here in Connecticut, our flag at the state capitol lowered earlier this morning to honor the victims of this shooting. This all in accordance with a proclamation from the president, who asked that flags across the country fly at half staff until Monday at sunset. Now to something we told you about in our last half hour. We are hearing from a dad here who lost his son in this tragedy. Leroy Walker also happens to be an alderman in Auburn, that a community just over the river from Lewiston. His son, Joseph, was the manager at the bar and grill involved here. Walker says this is a nightmare. And as you listen to him, you will hear that he has lived through something like this before.
It brought me back to approximately 25 years ago when I lost my daughter in a car accident. It brought me to my knees once again. When my youngest son told me that he thought that his brother, my son, was dead, it just crumbled me all over again and brought me back to just thinking, how bad can life be, and why are we as people punished in these ways? I'll never, I'm a Christian. I go to church, I believe in the Lord, I believe in Jesus Christ. But why do we have to go through these kind of miserable times?
You know, as we continue to work our way through the details of all of this, it's a moment to just take a breath and remind us that that is the dad, that is the father there of someone who has lost a child in all of this. So your heart just goes out to them. I've been in the newsroom in between appearances, Erica, kind of following what's happening with our sister station in Maine, looking for other pieces of new information. And a moment of kindness that I spotted that I wanted to share this morning as I was watching our coverage from Maine is that these cardboard hearts have popped up around the community over the course of the last 24 hours, just saying we love our neighbors and we love our city. I'm trying to secure access to some of those images so I can share them with you, but it is a gesture that is simple and largely profound on a day like today, as that community is certainly still grieving.
And Keith, getting back to the number 18, it sounds like a lot, but for a community as small as Lewiston, it really is much greater.
The largest mass shooting in Maine's history. It is a very small state. Just a few dozen homicides last year in total alone. So to see these numbers here as they stand in all these injuries, it is hard to follow for sure. Do want to let you know also, Erica, that Brooke Griffin is on the ground in Maine, and she will join us in our next hour.
Yeah, we look forward to hearing from her as well. Keith, thanks so much for staying on top of everything there.